Good morning, everyone. We just ask if everyone would just have a seat, if you don't mind. Ooh, they got quiet and obedient. It's like I'm still in front of a classroom. Okay. Good morning. I'm actually Dr. Gloria B. Williams, your mistress of ceremony for this occasion this morning, the 36th annual raising of the Black American Heritage Flag. I consider, first I'd like to give honor to God, the head of my life, for allowing us to assemble here today. And I consider it an honor and a privilege to stand before you because this ceremony, flag raising ceremony, has been held for the last 36 years under the direction of the late Ruth B. Loving. And before her passing, she actually asked Bud and I to take the banner and make certain that this flag raising ceremony would go on each year, and she insisted that it happen on the 1st of February. So we're here on the 1st of February in her honor and recognizing her efforts and making certain that we acknowledge the accomplishments of our Black Americans in this country. As you get my picture, okay. So just want to make sure that everything's okay. Okay. Before we begin the official program, I would ask if I can impose upon the Bishop Talbot Swan to bring an invocation. I don't think he thinks it's an imposition, but
God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light, keep us forever on the path, we pray. We thank You for this time of celebration and commemoration, for where You brought our ancestors from, and how You continue to sustain us in this nation and across the globe. We pray even now that we will keep You forefront in our thoughts, in our actions, in everything that we do, so that future generations may never forget what You have done for us. Bless the proceedings of this ceremony, the memory of Ruth B. Loving, and all of the ancestors that have gone before us, that we may forever make them proud. This we ask in Your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bishop Swan. Although February is the shortest month in the year, it is an extremely important one, particularly to African Americans, particularly to me, because as I indicated to this last time that we were here, that people of my race, blacks, women, weren't even allowed to set foot in a city hall. So here we are standing in front of a podium bringing greetings in Black History Month that was brought about by the advocacy of the late Carter G. Woodson, who advocated for the acknowledgement of the contributions that Black Americans have made in this world. Carter G. Woodson fought tirelessly to make this happen. Now, we know that Black Americans have made accomplishments over the years, and we're still learning about Black history. For me, I'm a living history, Black history. For the recipients of today's awards, and for you, many of you that are here, you're living history, the accomplishments that you've made the offices that you hold. There are so many accomplishments that we've made, and those of you who've studied Black history, I mean, we can go down the list. You know, we could talk about all the inventions and the inventions and all the great things that people have done, but there's still so much that needs to be done. But it is a little bit disturbing, well, not a little bit, it is disturbing that here we are in 2022 and we're still fighting for recognition, diversity, equity, justice for all. I was listening to the Dr. Martin Luther King speech last week, and it was like, and I was saying to Bud, I said, this is just heart-wrenching, because what he was speaking of then is still happening now. How is the dream still alive? Yes, we're still fighting to bring that dream to fruition. And I did say I was going to talk because we have some great speakers here with us today. So with that, I am going to start with asking our honorable mayor, and I do this every year, Mayor, you know that. I had to get permission from Bud to introduce you first. But he said that's protocol, but you know, as we know, you honor your home base and your husband, your spouse first. But I'm going to ask Dr. Mayor Dominic Sarno if he would come forward and bring greetings on behalf of the city.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's a beautiful dress you have on today, Dr. Williams. We appreciate that. And I do remember when Dr. Ruth B. Loving, she was a little shy. Am I right, Buddy? Doris said to Buddy, you make sure that you and your wife continue and carry on this tradition. So I want to thank you, Representative Williams and Dr. Williams. Let's give them a round of applause. I also like to thank Coach LeVar Glick from my office on logistics today. I'm joined by friends and colleagues in government. City Council President Marcus Williams is here. Marcus, thank you. City Councilor Tim Allen is here. Senator Eric Lesser is here. Representative Orlando Ramos is here. Representative Jake Oliveira is here. Kareem, my old intern, now with the Congressman Neal's office, is here. Kareem, thank you very much for being here. I want to make sure, and of course, the elegant and eloquent Commissioner of Health and Human Services is doing just a bang-up job. Put your hands together for Helen Carlton-Harris. I'd also like to thank our brave and dedicated men and women in blue that are here. I see Sergeant Elliott, Sergeant Cook, the rest of the crew. Let's give them a round of applause. The Reverend clergy, I know Reverend Bayman is here, and I love that sports coat and love them shoes and socks. And to First Lady Swan, all right. And to my friend Bishop Talbert Swan, congratulations on the award. I know Helen, but also congratulations. Your ecclesiastic district has expanded now in New England, and we appreciate your leadership there and here. So congratulations on that. If I missed anybody, it was a mistake of the mind and not of the heart, as former Mayor Billy Sullivan used to say. We come here today on a path that was forged by Dr. Ruth B. Loving, E. Henry Twiggs, and people that we recently lost, God rest their souls, Ron Johnson, Sophie Jeffrey, Johnny Murphy, had one of the biggest black-owned construction building companies in the New England area, and many, many more. And it is important that we continue to acknowledge all the contribution African Americans, blacks have made, whether in the city of Springfield, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, United States of America, and in the world. So it's important as we highlight Black History Month, and this is the 36th year, and I know Dr. Ruth B. Lovin is looking down from heaven now, saying, Mayor, move the program along, so I'm going to get to the proclamation on it. So we have an official proclamation There was no shyness in Ruth, as we all know. She always meant well in her heart. But I have a proclamation here for Representative Williams and Dr. Williams, Madam Principal. City of Springfield, Massachusetts, Mayor Dominic J. Sarno, home of the Basketball Hall of Fame. Proclamation honoring the late Ruth B. Loving. Whereas Gleason T. Jackson and Melvin Charles, both residents of Linden, New Jersey, dedicated a great portion of their lives toward the creation and recognition of the Negro American flag, which was completely designed and patented in 1967 and renamed later to the Black Heritage flag to keep pace with the times. And whereas the flag symbolizes a deep pride and rich history of black people and serves to remind all people that history of black people is an honorable one, full of pain remembered from the degrading days of slavery, as well as the immense pride and the undeniable contributions that black people have made to the American culture and history across the United States of America. And of course, right here in Springfield, Massachusetts. And whereas the design, color, symbols that were chosen by Jackson and Charles for the Black American Heritage flag carry with them an important piece of Black American history, which shall forever remind each Black American of their past as well as their unlimited potential for the future. Now, therefore, I, Dominic J. Sarno, Mayor of the City of Springfield, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, February 1st, 2022, as Black American Heritage Flag Day in the City of Springfield. And I urge all our citizens to join with me in celebrating the raising of the Black American Heritage Flag, signed by myself, Mayor Dominic J. Sarno. Good health, and God bless. And we're also joined by my friend in Celsa Economics, my rep, State Representative Carlos Gonzalez. Buddy?
Thank you.
Dr. Williams?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, you helped me out a little bit because you've already recognized the officials and the politicians in the chambers this morning. So I'm going to just introduce to some. He didn't lift his head up. He wanted me to say to all of you, but I'm just going to introduce State Representative Bud L. Williams, who will, if I've overlooked anyone or if Mayor, we've forgotten anyone in our introductions, he will clean that up for us. So I'm going to ask State Representative Bud L. Williams if he will come forward and he will bring his greetings. And then if you choose to follow up with that. But thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. First, give an honor to God. This is a glorious day, 36 years, and we haven't missed a beat. We've done this rain, snow, sleet, or shine. We've been below 0, 2 feet of snow, but Mrs. Loving always said the flag has to go up on February 1st. And we're just being obedient. We've had what a beautiful day today that the Lord has sent. Now, the mayor has talked a little bit about this is like a twofold program. We have the flag, and we have Dr. Woodson, Carter B., who was a great American. And for you folks who don't know about him, Google him. And he talks about the miseducation of the Negro then. We say the miseducation of black folks, because he understood and he realized and recognized that the contributions that black and African Americans were making, they were whitewashed. You had historians not even talking about what black people had done. So, he was a former slave. Parents were slaves, and he came out of slavery, and he said, when you control a man's mind, you don't have to worry about his actions. if you control a man's mind, he understood that. And the way they depicted black people at the time, menial, and they actually taught black people years ago to be menial, laid back, take all the jobs, social service jobs, that kind of thing. So he said, we have to get this right. We have to make sure that black history is taught. He was pushing black history in the schools. It's not done yet. Black history needs to be in the schools because the American history is black history. You can't teach history of America without talking about black people. If you do, it's false. It's false. It's not even true. So we will continue to push education in our schools, especially black history in our schools. It is important. And he thought that, Mayor and Bishop, if he could get it taught in school and folks, white, black, green, and blue would come together, then they would appreciate each other more and we could move on. Now, the first person to graduate from Harvard with a PhD was W.E. Du Bois. We know that. The second person was Dr. Woodson. Second person, Harvard, PhD. And he's done so many phenomenal things, and we just always want to recognize him. And he knew the pathway to freedom was through education. The pathway still is through education. We don't push education enough in the black community like we used to. When you were growing up, mama, daddy, whoever said, hey, you're going to finish school, you're going to school, no, you can't stay home, you're getting out of the bed, and you're going to school. It didn't matter, Willette. It just didn't matter. You were going to school. And we need to get back to that. And also I want to recognize the police officers, because, and I talked to Sergeant Cook, Sergeant Elliott, Ruth B. Lovings, every year demanded, wanted the police officers to be at this flag raising. And I'm so encouraged with the turnout today. Let's give our men in blue big men and women, I'm sorry. So we're going to move on, but Carter B. Woodson and the contributions that black folks have made, whatever, first blood plasma, George Carver, it's just so much. But, and the point that some of the young folks, First Lady Swan say, that Black History Month is so, why is it so short? Well, Woodson wanted February because there are two great Americans that were born in February. One was Abraham Lincoln on the 12th, and Frederick Douglass, his birthday is the 14th of February. That's why he chose February. It started off as Negro Week, now it's a month, but Douglass and Lincoln, that's why we celebrate it in February, not because it's the shortest month. So without further ado, I'm going to have some speakers now. I'm going to ask Senator Eric Lesser to come and bring greetings from the Mass Senate.
Well, thank you so much, Rep. Williams, Dr. Williams. Thank you for the great kickoff to Black History Month, and I'd be remiss if we didn't recognize and acknowledge the loss of Sophia Jeffrey and, of course, Ron Johnson, whose service was last week. May their memory be a blessing. And I mainly just want to bring greetings from the State Senate and acknowledgement of the important and historic nature of this month, and a reminder that it can't be limited, of course, to 1 month. That the purpose of Black History Month is to empower and to remember and to motivate change all year round. And that's what we kick off today and mark with this flag raising. And it's certainly not lost on me the memory of Dr. Loving. I have fond memories of her at these ceremonies over the years. So I want to thank Mayor Sarno, and congratulations, Bishop Swan. Big new territory and a very well-deserved award. Congratulations. So, thank you.
Yeah, someone comes, hey, Bishop Swan has got a big promotion. And I went, I looked, and I said, man, he probably happy back in the country. Because he was in a whole nother country, Canada. But congratulations, Bishop, from Vermont on down. You're a great man, and I don't know how you do all that you do, because I listen to him every Sunday, so he's doing a phenomenal job. At this time, we have my main man in Boston, Carlos Gonzalez, to come and bring greetings. Sasa Economics. Sasa Economics.
Thank you, buddy. You know, one of my wishes is to be able to sing Lift Every Voice and sing. And I'm going to try to do that now. So I want to thank you for the opportunity. Lift every voice and sing. How do I do? All right. So I accomplished one of my goals in life. Amen. You know, but the words of that song, it means lift every voice. Doesn't say one, doesn't say you, him, her. It says everyone. And that's the importance of this day, is to lift everybody's voice. Because as my colleague mentioned, Black History Month is the United States of America month. The history of the United States is Black history, and Black history is the United States history. So I am thankful. I bring greetings from the Speaker of the House, Ronald Mariano, along with my colleagues in government and the House of Representatives. I also bring greetings from Senator Adam Gomez, who is at a funeral and could not be here at this moment. But I want to basically just say that we've come a long way, but yet have a long way to go. The leadership of the mayor, Helen Carlton, our commissioner, leading us through this difficult time period, the pandemic. But we all will lift each other up. We'll bring about opportunity for all. And I'm just going to quote that we can't be blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who says it. And I don't care what party you support, what person, for president or non-president, for state representative, state senator, whatever it is. Wrong is wrong. And we got to make some rights. And we got to call them like it is. And I know with my colleagues in government, we're going to continue to call it as it is. Because I know that there's a bright future here in the city of Springfield, and we look forward to be embracing the leadership of this city, this state, and this country in the future, because we have some serious challenges if some people get what they believe should happen in this country. But we are here to celebrate. Again, lift every voice. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. At this time, we have the City Council President, Marcus Williams.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm bringing greetings on behalf of the Springfield City Council. I would like to thank my fellow colleagues for being here in attendance. Mayor Sarno, thank you for, of course, always supporting this program. The bishops, please accept my thank you as well for joining and bringing the Lord in the house, as I like to say. The spirit of Ruth Loving is here today. I feel it. It's certainly here today, and I know we all missed her spirit, her wisdom, and her strength in carrying forward this Black History Month as a time not just to remember the contributions of those that came before us, but to also recognize that we all are living history, as my auntie said, and we're all doing the best we can to push for social justice in a way that, with the emerging threats that we're continuously facing, and one of those threats has been, believe it or not, the COVID-19 pandemic, which has disproportionately affected Black residents in Springfield and abroad more than it has others. So I want to think there's a lot of people in this room who have helped combat the COVID-19 pandemic. So please give yourselves a round of applause, because we're coming out of it, hopefully. And another threat is sometimes I think my uncle crawls through my window at night and sees my remarks and then, comes back to the program to say it. But the threat of our history being eliminated from our schools, to me, it gets me angry to my core. How can we erase the contributions, the struggle of those that no longer are here with us, but their blood still runs through our veins? You know, there's a few important questions that I think we should be asking this time as we see emerging threats just as that one. And as we lose the people in this community, and it seems like on a daily basis at this point in time, unfortunately, one of the questions I think younger leaders should be asking is, what are we doing to hold on to the wisdom of those that are possibly on their way out before they go? That is a responsibility that we can't cast aside. And I also ask those who might be a little older than me, what are you doing to embrace the vibrancy of those that are coming when you're no longer here? Those are two charges I think that if we talk more about as a community and help galvanize the strength and numbers to combat these emerging threats, we'll be far better off. So I just want to thank you all for joining today. I'm Black, I'm proud to be Black. Got to support Black business in this community. And just remember that while there are threats that are emerging amongst us, if we stay committed to what our ancestors were fighting for, and if we want to be the realization that yes, we are their wildest dreams, we have a lot more work to do in this community. So God bless you. God bless the city of Springfield. Thank you all.
Thank you, nephew and City Council President Marcus Williams. You were right on point in terms of the education, Black history education in the schools. For myself, I know when I was in school, high school, elementary school, I don't think I saw a book that really told anything about Black history. Most of the teaching in my earlier years came from the stories of my family, their friends, and the people by whom I was surrounded. So my Black history teaching and learning began after I graduated from high school. I did know something, but high school, because I was hungry for the knowledge, so I would read everything that I could about Black history, and I'm still learning today, still learning every day. Pick up the newspaper, I've learned something new. I watch the news, I'm learning something new about Black history. So as we know that teaching and learning is a never-ending journey. So we have to continue on that, and we do need the real teaching of Black history in our schools. I can tell you, there aren't any books out there in the schools that have the authentic African-American history. As a youngster, I know about some of the things that happened in the city because Bud would tell me the stories about, he's a little older than me, but Bud would tell me the stories about the fights on City Hall step fight for civil rights. The former Representative Benjamin Swan, he would tell the stories that he shared with him. He would talk about marching with Cephas, C. Jackson back there. So I learned about history from others sharing that story. You can't even pick up a book or a newspaper or read about the stories that these great civil rights activists engaged in. You have to hear it. So President Williams, I do hope that at some point, and Mr. Mayor, at some point, we'll be able to get Black history into the schools. I'm sorry? Oh, okay, I thought you were saying it, but yes, that is so important. And youth, there are many youth out there that are doing things, so we have to put them in the forefront. They have a lot to offer. We want them to see the positive things and engage in positive works and engage in education. Some of them are discouraged because they're not getting authentic education. We have to value them more. So in the spirit of time, so we aren't going to be here all morning, I'm just going to transition into the other segment. We're speaking about the youth, and we do have a dynamic youth speaker this morning. And if I mispronounce your name, don't hesitate to correct me. It's Mama gonna get me. Lazim Swan. He's a senior at the University of Massachusetts. Yay! And architectural design program. So I'm going to ask him if he would come forward and deliver his message in his own way. And it's always good to hear from the youth. You know, you can hear from adults anytime. Pick up the newspaper, turn on the TV, but we love hearing from the youth. So, young Swan, if you don't mind.
It's Lazine, by the way, but I won't stress it. All right. Good morning to the honor. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the Honorable Mayor Dominic Sarno, State Representative Bud Williams, and all the other dignitaries and friends present here today. I would also like to acknowledge my parents, the honoree, Bishop Talbert Swan II, and my mother, First Lady Cynthia Swan. And thank you to Coach LeVar Click for the invitation. I will always remember you from my Dunbar days as a kid playing basketball. I do reminisce on those times actually a lot. And certainly, last but not least, I would like to raise the name of Mother Ruth B. Loving, who started the flag raising ceremony on the first day of Black History Month some years ago. So my name is Lazine Swan. I'm a senior at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, currently pursuing my Bachelor in Science and Architecture.
All right.
So, Black History. Black History is more than just a day, a week, or a month. And honestly, when you think of Black history and all that it has been through, it is infinite. It is so powerful that it is impossible to just contain it in just a finite period of time. Black history, like my mother told me, is every day. Not only is it every day, but it's within me and it is within us. It was before, it is now, and it is ongoing into an ever-present future that fights to reveal its truths, its narratives, and its authentic voice. It cannot be limited, it cannot be contained, it cannot be bound, it cannot be circumscribed, it cannot be erased, and it cannot be eliminated. And it cannot be expunged, nor can it be obliterated. But that doesn't stop these anti-Black groups from trying. We all know February is designated as a sacred time to set aside every year to remember, recognize, and reverence the existence and humanity of a people who refuse to give up. I am privileged to be of the generation that represents every contribution and sacrifice made by Black people. Today marks the first day of what is known around the world as Black History Month. And as I was thinking of what to say today, I thought of the meaning of Black history. Many affirmations ran through my mind. I thought, I am Black history. When I looked at my parents, I see Black history. As I scan this room, I recognize Black history. When I enter foreign spaces, I acknowledge Black history. When I talk to my dad, he's dropping Black history gems. When my great-grandfather was buried, I am his namesake, I gained the mantle of a Black history legacy. Black history is much bigger than a book with tales and stories about people. Black history extends back as the beginning of humankind. Black history is bigger than a day, a week, and much bigger than a month. It's bigger than a person, a movement, a story, or a subject. Black history has outgrown skin, race, classrooms, systems, and debates. It's more than a snapshot of it that they currently teach in the classroom. And it's even more than what America is too scared and uncomfortable to have taught in the classroom. Black history is everywhere and every day. Black history holds up the standard of humanity and justice. Black history is until we are free, no one is free. Black history holds up the flag of equality, liberation, and righteousness. So today I will leave you with this. Let this February not be ritualistic. Let this sacred time of celebrating Black history cause you to dig deeper, reflect on the lives of Black people and humanity. Do your research. Go beyond. I have a dream and Martin Luther King. Appreciate Black history in your spaces, in your city, and in your surroundings. Talk to your elders. Know your family's history. Know the stories, and know the stories that are not on the list of books to read. They're trying to ban books and teaching Black history everywhere, anywhere. Even in historically Black institutions, Africana Studies is always the first to go and never to be fully funded. So please understand that Black people were enslaved. They were not slaves. We were doctors, politicians, spiritual leaders, kings, queens, farmers, you name it.
You name it, there you go.
All that talent was brought here, and we ultimately, against our will, built America. But we are yet able to enjoy what we built. Most Africans that were enslaved were more civilized and educated than their captors. So let this month be the time of year, regardless of how uncomfortable it may be, to hear the truth and process the truth of Black history. Because until you are able to deal with the truth of my history, you will not be prepared to embrace the truth of humanity, of my humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Lazim. Let's give him another round of applause. That was awesome. And we need more role models like Lazim Swan leading the way, talking to these young people in these courses that they tell us that our children aren't prepared for, or don't have the skills, sciences and architecture. But here's an example right here, an architectural design student. So, and I don't want to minimize anyone, but there are probably so many children in our schools that don't even know what that's about. And then the sciences, very few of them you see children of color, Black students particularly in higher education, in these science courses, in these challenging classrooms. That's because they hadn't been prepared with the right foundation, and they need to see more role models. So I applaud you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're outstanding role model, and just keep doing the work. At this time, State Rep Bud is going to come forward and introduce this morning's keynote speaker.
Good. Thank you. Tell him Bishop Talbot's on the second. He got somebody on his heels. Phenomenal. Thank you. You guys have done a fantastic job with him and the church and the family. And before I introduce the keynote speaker, I'd be remiss, I see Sheikh Swan back there working with the ARP, giving us some money. Thank you, thank you. Miss G over there, Ann G's granddaughter over there, Gary G, my 4th grade student. So I always have to acknowledge her and them, because I still remember your grandmother and your father, one of my students at Homer Street. And I'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the father of civil rights in Springfield, Benjamin Swan. No, he's not here. He's looking, he's watching on TV, so I told him to give him a shout out. But Ben has done so much, along with Ruth B. Lovings, in Springfield to make it a better place. And I'd be remiss if my mind didn't go back, Bishop, a few years where I'm hanging with C. Jackson and Ray Jordan and Ben, and we're on the City Hall steps. Because at that time, there weren't too many Black people in City Hall. Matter of fact, there weren't too many Black people doing anything in Springfield. Education, jobs, what have you. The Roger Williams of the world. But I do remember on the steps of City Hall, and those C. Jackson and Ray and Andy Griffin and Ben Swan, Ida Flynn, Ruth B. Loving, they made it so that I could be where I am. Before there was a Barack Obama, there was Ben Swan. Remember that. Before Barack Obama, there was a Ben Swan. What am I saying? I'm saying those are the trailblazers, shoulders who we stood on to elevate us as a people. And if you forget your history, look at what's happening in current events. Look around you in the world, in the United States. They're trying to erase what's left of history and put us back in slavery. And you don't think they can do it? Supreme Court, voting rights. Still don't have the right, black people still don't have the right to vote. You're on a visa, I say. Roe versus Wade. They're going to try to flip that. So this is a country. It's important. And let me say, we can cry to Republicans. We got to get off our duffs, senators and representatives all over the country, and we have to have a huge voter registration. Other than that, if they flip the House, they flip the Senate, we got problems. And if you think they won't turn back the hands of time, oh, they don't care. They're trying to erase history, erase everything, and put us back to good old days. Make America great again. So that's just a reminder that we have a lot of work to do. It's going to get hard. It's going to get tough. So the next preacher, speaker really needs an introduction, and I'm always amazed at the voice that he has, and maybe he'll give us a little standard. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But Mark Bayman, great church man, great family man, and the second vice president of NAACP, and at least vice president of Pastors Council. Pastors Council too, I got it right. So he's going to come and bring us greetings, speaking, preaching. And we have preachers. They're not speeches, they're sermons. I want to establish that. There's always a sermon. That's why Dr. King was so great. There were sermons, not speeches. So Mark A. Bayman, come on up in your own way. And Keynote. Let's give him a big, warm round of applause.
Thank you very much, and I'm just so excited to be here, and want to first honor our mayor, Mayor Dominic Sarno, and I like your jacket too, and to all of you whom honor is due, too many names to call, but all of your names have been called. But there are a few that I want to stand out on today. But Williams, I am so grateful to God for him because he consistently looks throughout our community to see who he can pull up. And I believe that it is very important for us as a people to consistently be watchful as to finding those that we can pull up, those that we can motivate, those that we can find greatness in, so that we can too continue on this journey for equality in our city and in our country. I am thankful to God for my good friend, the Bishop Talbert Swan. I want to tell him congratulations on today. One thing that I do want to say, and I'm always trying to be watchful of who's on the program, because I try to make it a habit never to come behind a swan. Never to come behind a swan. I am just grateful today because We are here as a result of a 4'11" woman. 4'11" woman by the name of Ruth B. Loving. A woman that is small in stature, but one who was concerned about the rights of black people. This tenacious woman had a loud voice, and anybody that knew her knew that that was the truth. She had a loud voice, and she used that voice to help the helpless. And it is an honor to be here as we recognize another loud voice in our city today, the voice of Bishop Talbert W. Swan II. And you can applaud that. Over the next fleeting moments, I'm going to just speak about a few things that are near and dear to my heart. And I pray that something that we will say will be motivation to you, hopefully that will cause there to be a change in all of us for the better. You would think that with all of the blood, sweat, and tears, and the beatings, the lynchings, and the lives that were lost in our struggle for equality, that we would be much further along than we are today. That our voices would carry more weight, with race relations plummeting to a near all-time low, where racial tensions are higher than they have been in decades. We should be able to see how delicate our freedoms really are, and how important it is to continue to defy those that would prevent us from receiving what belongs to us. What is our right to possess. All we desire is an even playing field, and we can take it from there. I want to say that again. All we desire is an even playing field, and then we will take it from there. We're living in a time when the rights that we deserve, freedoms that we have long been paid for, with the blood of those that would dare to lift up their voices to help those who suffer from fear-induced laryngitis. All that we have gained is under attack. Battles that we thought were over are now under attack. Our right to vote is under attack. Our right to tell history, our history accurately, is under attack. They're trying to keep our students from learning the truth about America's history. The role that the mistreatment of people of color by whites played in shaping the America that we live in today. We are here in 2022, and our voices are still going unheard. Our cries are still being ignored. And when one of us decides to speak with a loud voice or to cry out because of our pain from the unrelenting attacks on our rights to justice and equality, we are labeled a troublemaker, a rebel rouser, and we are to shut up and dribble. Stay in your lane. There are people in this country, and I dare say in this city, that feel that the only right that a black American should have is the right to remain silent. But while being arrested by injustice and inequality, we must refuse to be silent. Many times, the ones whom we are on the front lines to help, the ones that we are fighting for, are the ones that will deliver the message to quiet down. Stop stirring up trouble. But I want you to be encouraged, those of you with the loud voices, and keep uplifting your voice against those that want us silent and satisfied with the scraps of society and to those that can't hear the urgency in our voice for change. When Moses was told by God to go to Pharaoh and to tell him to let my people go, those that were benefiting from their captivity, namely Pharaoh and the Egyptians, got angry and made things worse for the children of Israel, to the point where the people to whom Moses came to deliver said, "Leave us alone. You are making things worse for us." And had Moses, oh my God, heeded to them and what they wanted, and if he had just closed his mouth, had he toned down his voice and given in to the hurt of being rejected by the people he was assigned to deliver, had he left them alone because their present situation had blinded them to the memory of God's promise to Abraham concerning them and the freedom that was to be their inheritance. Loud, persistent voices are needed. And when our voices are being ignored, we need those voices to become louder. Had Moses closed his mouth, they would have remained in bondage. And I want to say to those of you that are on the front lines, those of you that are raising your voice or because of injustice, understand something. And I say this to people who I counsel in marriages because a lot of times voices get raised. When people feel that they're being heard, they don't have to raise their voice. It is important for us, and to those of you in this room who have been graced with the power to change laws and procedures, don't take the loud voices as of an oppressed people personally and make things harder for us. Just hear us. Work with us. Embrace our passions and try to understand why we must continue to fight. Even when we oppose where you stand, always understand that we're not taking it personal, that we're working towards something that is bigger. We understand that if we quiet our voices, we will remain in the same place that we're in. But it is so important for us to understand today, to whom much is given, much is required. And I want you to understand that we're not against you. We want to work with you. We're not asking for a handout. We just want equality. And if you will hear us, I believe that things will get better. My prayer today is not only that our voices are loud and remain strong, but that our voices will be heard and that the lives of Black people will at some point, hopefully today, that the lives of Black people will matter. May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you, is my prayer.
Thank you, Reverend Raymond. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Well done. We're just about there. We're less than an hour. We're less than an hour. We got a couple more cleanups to do. But I do, first of all, Tracy Whitfield, she's at a funeral. She called me. Kateri Walsh is at a funeral. She called me. I do want to recognize my Ward 7 City Councilman, Mr. Allen, Tim Allen. Give it to him. My senator is here. I know he's at the funeral, but Adam, we're going to come on and up and give us a quick, while I get ready to present the award. Senator Adam Gomez. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep it nice and brief. My apologies. I also had a loss in the family. It's another day, historic day, that we're going to raise the Black History flag. It's my honor to be able to represent this community to the fullest of my capacity on the Massachusetts State Senate, but also in collaboration working with all of the leaders in our churches and also with our community moving forward. I'm just happy to be here with you guys once again in my capacity as your state senator, and looking forward to serving with you guys and working with you guys in the next year. And not only in the month of February, but Black history is American history, and that's 365 days and a revolution around. Thank you so much. God bless.
We're at the end. We do have we have an award for the Ruth B. Loving Award we established a few years ago. But we want to recognize someone today. I want members from the Springfield Black COVID Coalitions to come up and stand here. Sylvia, Fran, C. Willette, just stand. Come on, we got to do it real fast now, Bo. Just come and stand. We had, on the heels of this, Bishop, this is the members of the some members of the Springfield Black COVID Coalition, which I worked very hard with Representative Carlos Gonzalez as we took people to get vaccinations and tests and everything. But we wanted to give special recognition to our health commissioner, who has been on the front line, going on 2 years. In March, a month, it'd be 2 years. We do have something we're going to present to her at a later date, but we just want, Commissioner Colton, can you come forward, please? Now, come on over here. Come on over here. It's when we, the committee thought about this, and she has numerous awards. This is not even about that kind of award. It's about her work, her dedication, her commitment. And I remember way back in those first days, and I said this, when you come out and the mayor was involved, and you have to come and stand before television, and you have to announce people are dying. That ain't easy. You got people you know, and every week they did it. Your heart gets heavy. This is not a plaything, this pandemic. Hopefully become an epidemic. So we want to recognize her for the commitment, because she looks at the city as we're all her family. And we talk all the time. So the committee, we do have a plaque, it's on its way, but we just wanted to show our love and appreciation. We can't pay you for what you do. We can't thank you enough for watching out for every 158,000 mirror, or what are we? 458. For citizens. So we just wanted to acknowledge her. We have something coming we will present at a later date on behalf of all of Springfield, but especially the Black COVID Coalition, from the square, and Carlos Gonzalez special from the north end, because we worked, when it first happened, we were on the front line with her, because the state wasn't doing what they should have been doing. They just weren't. So we took matters in our own hand, and she did too. So, Commissioner, thank you, thank you, thank you. You didn't ask for it. You're not looking, you're doing your job. As I said, she's one of the, and we're on the phone with a lot of health commissioners all over the country. One of the best. She could be anywhere. She could go to Boston, Atlanta, Chicago, anywhere she wants, seriously, and make 3 or 4 times. Hint, hint. Hint, hint, Mr. Mayor. But can we give Commissioner, just come and say something, but thank you for what you have done for us. Come on, come on. And thank you. And the reason why we chose today Black History is because she is a disciple of Ruth B. Loving. So, that's right.
Well, thank you very much. I very much appreciate this honor. I am blessed to work in a city with individuals who are extremely supportive. I thank all of the residents of the city who listen to me and try very hard. I thank the Black COVID-19 Coalition and State Representative Bud L. Williams, Mayor Sarno, and congratulations, Bishop. You're very deserving of everything that comes your way because you are a voice that keeps us grounded. So thank you. Thank you so much to everyone. And I'm going to just use this moment to say thank you to Evergreen Bass, your mother. Evergreen Bass was my daughter Angela's preschool teacher at early childhood, and she still talks about Evergreen Bass to this day. Angela is a graduate of Howard University. Angela has an MBA from the University of Massachusetts, but to this day, she talks about that Eastern Avenue place where she got to be mentored by Black history, a Black woman who loved and valued and nurtured her. Thank you and thank you to everyone who has been with me on this journey and been supportive. I thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Carlton, for that acknowledgement. My mother was a phenomenal teacher, and she loved children, living history. She's gone on to glory, but she's living history, and she's touched a lot of lives over her lifetime. So I appreciate that. And also, I'm just going to take the liberty to thank Bud personally, because I know, you see him out in the public, but I know what he does behind the scenes. He's up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning making certain that his communications are out, that he's doing the work that needs to be done to save the lives of people, not just African American people, but all people. So I do want you to know that he works extremely hard on behalf of people. And I know Commissioner Carlton, when he calls on you, that you respond. And you make a great team. There's the coalition, and I'm just going to put a plug in, Cynthia and Ms. Fran, on February 5th, 1 o'clock, Cozy Corner. Spread the word. Cozy Corner Pavilion. They'll be hosting another mask giveaway. Dr. Wilmore Webley, microbiologist from the University of Massachusetts, will come and he will share more information about the state of the COVID, and particularly in Springfield. And Commissioner Carlton has already made a presentation. I'm sure she'll come again at some time because this is a never-ending journey. And so after Bud makes that presentation to the bishop, the next voices you will hear will be that of our Springfield songstress, Ms. Vanessa Ford. And I know that Representative Gonzalez wanted to sing, so this is his choice. This is his opportunity to join with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, this is what a great day. We're just at an hour. Just lost for words. I look at Bishop Talbot Swan II, New Talbot Swan I, Ben, Fred. We used to get all the swans mixed up, Jake, because what they used to do, used to name their, as Ben's telling me the history, used to name their children after their brother. So you had it all. I'm thinking his father is somebody else, and the uncle is somebody else, and really, till I finally learned that. But Bishop Talbot Swan has become a giant megaphone that resonates all over the country. All over the country. And he epitomizes, in my opinion, because I listen to him, we listen to him on Sundays, what the ministry social justice is all about. Our Lord and Savior. He brings the gospel, he brings the word, he doesn't cut it, he doesn't bite his tongue, Truth to power. And it's phenomenal. A man who receives death threats all the time. They're trying to always kick him off Twitter. They're always trying to get him off. They're always trying something. And that's when they want to silence Rep. Ramos, when they want to silence a voice for all of us. And he cares about all of us. And he fights the fight. He was on the ground for COVID coalition in the beginning. And First Lady, your voter registration. All you folks are doing. And LeVar, thank you for what you've done today. But no one, you can't pay someone because he's only doing what he's charged to do. He's charged to go out and represent all of us and make our lives easy. It ain't easy being at the point. It ain't easy being, if you see the birds when they start heading down south, there's always one at the point. They form that formation. But that one at the point is doing what? Taking the wind, taking the cold, taking the heat. So what? So the formation can stay intact and you stay together. He is at the point. He's our leader. Some people call him a rabble-rouser. Some people call him a troublemaker. But John Lewis would always say, good trouble is good. And he's on every issue. I don't know how he does it, but I think he finds his strength in the Lord, and he keep on keeping on. So we're just very proud to present this award to you, Bishop, and I really mean, I just can't find words to even say what you do other than you just do a good job. And I'm going to ask you and First Lady Swan to come on up as we present this award. First Lady. And what it says, the Roof Be Loving Social Justice Activist Legacy Award, presented to Bishop Talbert W. Swan II for his continuous courage in the fight for equality and justice for all. Sponsored by State Representative Bud L. Williams and my wife, Dr. Gloria B. Williams, given this day, February 1st, 2022. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Bishop.
I'm smiling under here.
Thank you, Representative Williams, Dr. Williams, and thank you for continuing to carry on the legacy of Ruth Loving in this annual celebration of Black history and flag-raising ceremony. We applaud you for your work. Thank you so much. Mayor Sarno, to elected officials that are here today, thank you so much for your presence, being here. To each and every one of you that have gathered in this space for this celebration, we honor you and thank you for taking the time out of your day on a very cold day to be here on today. To my wife of almost 31 years, and so y'all have to pray for her because she's had to put up with me for a long time. And to my son, of whom I'm well pleased and so proud of. We don't do any of the work that we do because we look for recognition or for accolades. I'm reminded of the song that just said, "A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never dying soul to save, and fitted for the sky." We do this for our love for our God and for our love for our people. It is that reason that Dr. Carter G. Woodson sought to ensure that the legacy and the history of our people would never, ever be forgotten. Just the other day, Governor Ron DeSantis and some of the legislators in Florida advanced a piece of legislation that would come against institutions of learning and businesses that would dare have training sessions or teach anything regarding the history of racism in America that would cause, and these are the words used in the legislation, that would cause discomfort to white people. I dare to say that if black children and black people have to experience racism and white supremacy on a day-to-day basis, then certainly white folks can deal with being uncomfortable about hearing about it. You cannot talk about the history of America without talking about the history of white supremacy and racism. We are on stolen land that was stolen by the genocide of Native and indigenous people. Land that was then worked by enslaved Africans. And so the wealth of America was built on the bloodshed, the tears and the labor of non-white people. You can't talk about American history without talking about that story and that narrative. And so therefore, to come with this attack on any teaching of the real history of America and call it critical race theory is nothing but cowardice and erasure. And it goes against the legacy of Dr. Carter G. Woodson and any and everyone that would want the history of our people to be taught. And so I say that we have to stand boldly, and we have to speak truth to power, and we have to continue to tell our story. I stand on the shoulders of others. I stand on the shoulders of Sally Swan and Bessie Morton and Ben Swan and Talbert Swan I and others who gave me a grounding in our history and taught me a love for my Creator and a love for my people. And I will never, ever allow their stories to be silenced. And so 365 days of the year, we will speak of the history of a brave and a noble and a resilient people that, in spite of a nation that is yet to be united, that had gathered against the realization of their humanity, that they stood boldly and accomplished much. And it's on their shoulders we stand. It's on the shoulders of the Ruth Lovings of the world that we stand. Thank you so much for this honor. I appreciate you. Love you so much. God bless you.
We're going to call Vanessa Ford and Rep. Gonzalez.
I know that's right. He didn't know I was going to call him up, and I didn't want to be presumptuous, but I sound like you're ready. So, Rep. Gonzalez wants everyone to stand, and we're all going to lift our voice together, and we're not going to be ashamed today, right? So, tell your neighbor, I'm going to lift my voice with you, and you lift your voice with me. Are you ready? Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Bless you, Springfield.
We have, we're going to go down and raise the flag, but we're going to have the benediction by Reverend Bayman. Do the benediction, please.
Dear Lord, we are so grateful to you just for the opportunity to come together, to remember and to commemorate. But God, I pray that as we leave this place, that your presence will go with us, that the things that we have heard on today will not be forgotten, but, oh God, let it be cherished. So watch over us as we leave this place, but never your presence. And may the grace of God and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with us all. In Jesus' great name we pray. Amen.